Greetings and shalom. This is Zeph. I am Trish and I are in on Roswell, New Mexico. Oddly enough, and a little like an RV park that we just rolled in for the night because we saw a sign. And the first thing we saw was the little green man, and I guess it's kind of part of the whole gimmick of, you know, the whole alien thing and UFO themed. And there's no one really here. As I said, it's really nice. It's under trees, and there's gravel that's groomed, and then there's little aliens all over the place. And I just find it very strange how we wound up here to present what I'm about to present to you, which was the culmination of my stop in San Antonio, and had a lovely rib dinner at Rudy's on Bernie Stage Road, the original Rudy's, thanks to Jonathan Kleck, who I get, you know, we were going to take him to dinner, and then suddenly he turns out buying everything and putting everything on the table and saying, you have to try this, you have to, he was a very magnanimous host, if you will, and a lot of class there. But, so there we were on a really nice day, sitting outside, and he had his really cool son, Trinity, there, and so there we were. And then we booked it back to the to where we were staying, to our RV in which was at the whole north end of town. It was like we had to cross all over through town and bumper to bumper traffic, and we got there. And then, well, earlier in the day, let me just start with this. Earlier in the day, I called him. We talked about getting together. We wanted to just get together for dinner, and we were just passing through. Okay. So what ends up happening is the connection got lost, or no, I was going to reschedule because I was going to get a car, I was going to rent a car, and then because it was a long drive, and I didn't want to, it was just kind of trying to get a methodology to work this thing. Anyway, it looked like I would be delayed. So I called him back to say, maybe we got to push this back an hour, instead of like 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock. Okay, so what happens is I call, and there's this bizarre demon on the phone, a conscious entity that is taking over Johnny's line. And so here we are, interrupted, and the oddest thing is that
we both heard it.
It was on his end and my end when he answered my call. It was between the two of us. So I'm a witness to this event, and then I handed the phone. I said, Trish, listen to this. And Trish she was looking around for the tape recorder. Well, Jonathan had his tape recorder.
Yeah,
and
he could hear the broadcast. You could hear the transmission. We could hear it.
Right.
But
we
he
couldn't
hear what we were saying.
No, we couldn't hear each other. So, and then I've compared this to, anyway, so I heard exactly live what he's been talking about. I'm the only witness there is to what he's been saying. So I guess I'm a witness to that. What he said and what he experienced is absolutely valid, because I will attest to the fact that there's a conscious entity, and I would say a demon, obviously, and alien demon. What's the difference? I mean, it's basically trying to break into this situation, and I felt, in a sense, on the part of the demonic voice or the transmission, fear, desperation, things like that. So, and I think this all has to do with Jonathan. I guess my involvement is perhaps this thing is, trying to go after both of us in some way. But I got the feeling that it's like a losing game. Like the thing itself is is desperate. desperate to break on through, to be on this side, when it's on the other side, if you know what I mean. So what I'm going to play for you is, what happened when we returned to our RV after having dinner. It was Jonathan Kleck, his son Trinity, who was not allowed to hear this. In other words, this transmission, he kept Trinity outside so he would not hear this. Trish and me and our dogs. Basically, that was it in the mobile apartment that we're in. And what else can I say about it? Well, I just find it very strange that it was not intentional that I would be in Roswell at some sort of, alien themed park. I just find that to be amazing that we're transmitting this from here. And maybe Trish will take a picture of the little green men out there, and we'll put it up. No, it's beyond belief. All this, you can't make this stuff up. It is too bizarre. This is not the first time I've done battle. I demanded during the transmission from the quote alien unquote, "Who are you? Get off his line. Get off. Quit bothering him." I sense a pathos here. I sense patheticness. I sense impotence. I sense fear. So that's my take on it. And then Jonathan goes through like a rendition of, going back through the last few weeks and months of how he was called, what Yahweh told him, that what his purpose is, and he's going over it point by point, trying to make sense of it, trying to say, this is, I'm not crazy, this is valid because this happened, then this happened, then this, and then Trinity was also a witness to that. No, he's not crazy. Absolutely, he's in the throes of an experience that is, at this point, not definable except through the Bible, which refers to him having a purpose of gathering the church, a prophet of doom, a harbinger of the end, and so on. So I'm going to get out of the way now and play this thing. This is, there's some of you who have been listening a long time, and you just love this kind of audio, where we...
But don't let your kids listen to it because
no.
Really
keep your kids away from it. Really, it's only a couple of times where this thing plays, but and then we talk, and then Johnny actually does some preaching and stuff. But don't let your kids hear the transmission. I think, and that's what we did last night, and I think that's best. Anyway, I'm a live witness. Trish is a witness, and I guess I had to go to San Antonio I guess that was my purpose in stopping there, because we weren't really going to stop there because we had commitments and bills and all kinds of things we had to deal with back in New Mexico. So we were kind of booking it back from Florida. And then we were just, I guess everything just fell into, there's no way I was controlling this, right? We ended up there in San Antonio, and I guess the rib thing was I love barbecue, but I guess the rib thing was eclipsed by the fact that all this stuff is going on and nobody can relax. It's almost like we're in battle mode, and this thing is going to the end, and you can see WW3 and everything else ramping up. And these psychopaths bringing it in, and unrepentantly so. Do not give them that. I want that. Oh, I see. Okay.
Skin. Salmon skin.
Okay.
I'm not giving.
Well, we're on the last day. So here we are in Roswell. It's about 4 hours from where our home is, and we're in the south end of the state. We just had to pull over because we'd been, driving. And what are the odds you would wind up in a UFO theme park to transmit this? Just tell me. What are the odds on this? What does it mean to me? Well, it means that we're directly involved with this And this is not the first time I've been involved with these. Well, I'd love to just explain it. Are we in the way of this guy? No. This is not the first time I've dealt with these